What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here. Today to have a little discussion about PSA's $18 grading tier. What I wanted to do, because I saw a lot of comments like, there's nothing that makes sense for that. There's too cheap, $200 declared value, this, that, and the other thing. I wanted to kind of go down and just cover a couple things that I think make a ton of sense for the $18 value service with the, I'm just going to call it a 6-month turnaround time. I'm going to assume anything that I talk about today, I am not going to see back until February. Maybe we get it back sooner than that, maybe later, but that's my general assumption that I'm running with. If it comes back sooner than that, perfect. If it comes back later than that, it still really won't be a huge deal. But to me, I think there are quite a few things that actually make a lot of sense for this tier. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Like, comment, subscribe, you guys and girls. Know the drill. Let's dive in. First off, non-sports card stuff. I'm going to focus specifically on Marvel. And when I'm talking about cards, I'm not talking about the specific cards. We're going to keep this kind of fast and loose with types of cards. I think a lot of the Marvel Universe stuff is in play. I have some 91 MU Gambits here. This is from Series 2 that I may potentially send in. I don't know. I got to evaluate this stuff. I'm kind of just using this as examples. You can pick whatever character that you want. But this set's fairly undergraded compared to 90. They don't have insane value in a PSA 10, but at 18 bucks a piece, I think you could take some shots there. The other thing too, I know a lot of people are citing the $200 declare value. Listen, guys and girls, you could play a little fast and loose with that. Don't get stupid and submit like $1,000 cards. But remember, worst case scenario, they're going to upcharge you to 30 bucks, assuming you sent like a $500 or $600 card in. So if you get upcharged, it's probably only going to be for $12. So, we'll talk about it when we talk about baseball here in a second. But from an upcharge perspective, I just don't know that it's that big of a deal. I usually go with kind of what it would grade with in a PSA 9. And then if they want to upcharge me, they can upcharge me. And once again, an upcharge on this is not going to be super expensive. It would go up to the $30 tier, which is not a huge ordeal. So Marvel stuff, but you can expand that out to pretty much a lot of non-sports / pop culture cards. A lot of that stuff doesn't have a ton of established comps. A lot of it is pretty low pop in PSA. And you never know. You might hit on something. And worst case scenario, at 18 bucks a card, even if these come back a 9, okay, I could get like 10 bucks for them. Right now, the Gambits, for example, I think go for 200, 175, 250. There's a few sales. I think they basically go for about 200 bucks, maybe 175. So those should be fine. Even if those came down to 100 bucks in a PSA 10, that's still 20 bucks a card. My cost basis on those cards are nothing. I paid for that box ages ago. 90 MU, 100% still a play. There's a very specific angle on 90 MU, and you actually see that I'm holding a checklist in my hand, and you're probably like, seriously, the checklist? Here's the angle with 90 MU. And, maybe this falls apart because of the 6-month turnaround time on this, but I'm willing to take this risk because it's only 18 bucks a card. 18 bucks a card, you can get a little cute. You can get a little cute on a couple cards. And what I am actually going to do is I'm going to go on GemRate. I'm going to go on the PSA Pop Report. I'm going to look at 90 Marvel Universe, and I'm going to look at every card. I'm going to sort it by lowest population in PSA 10, and I'm going to start working my way down that list and see what I got laying around. I don't care how good or bad the character is. I don't care if it's Nomad's rookie card. I don't care if it's the checklist. I don't care if it's the jokey Spider-Man cards. If it's like pop 7, pop 8, pop 9, whatever, anything basically lower than pop 20, I'm intrigued by. Here's the reason why. There are a lot of people putting sets together of 90 MU, and they're very long-term projects. And there are certain cards that are very, very low population that people are fighting for. Checklist is one of them. High Evolutionary is another one of them. Very hard to find High Evolutionary even remotely centered, let alone everything else being good on it. But you get my point. Mine the pop reports on some of these iconic sets like 90 MU. Maybe you know another one. Maybe there's some, garbage pail kids. I don't know. Some other non-sports card thing or something that you have some inside knowledge on that maybe people are set building it or could potentially set building it. Mine those population reports and go after the low pop cards. Now, could they shift over the next 6 months? Absolutely, they could. That's the risk you take. But once again, hit $18 a card, you can get a little frisky. So that's the first big one, non-sports. Marvel specifically for me, but once again, you can kind of blow that out to anything. Maybe a Star Wars set, whatever. Just something that doesn't have a lot of stuff on the PSA Pop Report already. The next one, and to me, the biggest one, there's two versions of this. They both revolve around baseball. One is just really baseball in general. If you have lower end baseball laying around, project rookies, guys you're taking a shot on, maybe from this past year's top, short prints from Topps paper. Topps Chrome won't be out yet, unfortunately. Otherwise, Topps Chrome stuff would make a lot of sense here. But you can mine baseball for plays because of the timing of this. They're going to have them for assume 6 months. You get them back in February. It's perfect timing for the lead up to baseball next year. With that being said, to me, the one that makes the absolute most sense are baseball prospects. And it is not even close. Baseball prospects make so much sense, even like lower end stuff. I'll give you some examples. Once again, I am not a baseball prospect guy. So please do not go chasing the guys that I show in these videos. The primary reason that I went after them is because they are Cleveland Indians. They're in their farm system. They do have some upside for sure. One of them in particular is very high on the top 100 prospect list. But I have an extra angle here that these are Indians players, so I will be able to move these guys locally pretty easy. So pick whatever maybe your local team is. Mine that minor league report. Go to MLB Pipeline. Look to see who's in, is there good guys in 2022 Sapphire, 2022 Bowman Chrome, maybe even go to 2021 Bowman. I've been really going after 2022 Bowman Sapphire. Biggest reason why, the base cards are pretty cheap. I kind of talked about this in the mail day video. I went really hard on Joneski Noel. He's like 130th maybe on the MLB top 100. He's not in the top 100 right now. This is just a huge lot of base Sapphire. Like I said, I picked this up in the mail day. I have not gone through these yet to see what's going to go for grading and what's not. But I'm into these for, I think, like, I don't remember, $8 a card, give or take. So I have a whole stack of those to go through. I think I figured it out that my cost basis on these with $18 grading would be about $30 a card. I feel pretty good that if I can nail 10s, I can get more than $30 a card for these in PSA 10s. I could be wrong. A lot can happen with baseball prospects. Who the hell knows? It could go super sideways on me. But I feel like it's worth the risk. So I have those to sort through. I did also pick up an orange ice out of 50. I bought this for $100 raw. I already know I'm not going to send this. Sapphire is pretty notorious this year for, the roller marks and lines that you see on backs of cards frequently. This year, Sapphire has them on the front. You probably won't be able to see them with this in the mag. Maybe you can. Probably going to be too difficult to see them because they are very faint. But the card not in a mag, you could see them right away. So do keep that in mind when you're looking at Sapphire, specifically the parallels. So that one I'll probably just keep in the mag and hope that it goes up in value on its own without grading being involved. Once again, here's the other guy that I went in on, Valera. He's like top 30 on the MLB Pipeline or like top 35. But same thing, just a stack of base Sapphire. I think there's 15 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 here. I think I paid $200 for the 16. I believe that's what it was. Yes, it was about $200 for the 16, give or take. So a little over $10 per card, maybe $12 per card, whatever that would come out to be. So same thing again, my cost basis with grading on this is going to be a little over $30 a card. Maybe a little bit higher than that. A little bit higher than what I was in the Noels for. But this guy's legit. He could potentially get called up this year. I don't think he will. I don't know that they have space for him, but injuries could happen or something. But same thing. I send these off at 18 bucks a card, 20 or 30 bucks a card cost basis. If I get a couple PSA 10s, I think I'm in good shape. I think on 9s I could break even locally on these. But once again, I have not sorted through these yet to see kind of what happened. So that's that. And then I have a final one, which this is technically air quotes mail day. These came in since my last mail day video. And then another little thing that I made a play on. Once again, Noel. First Bowman Chrome base autos. I got this, a CSG 9.5, an 8.5, and a 9. The 9, I think they hit on centering. I'm not super good on centering on Bowman. The 9.5 looks pretty clean. The 8 has a soft corner. That corner right there. You can see it's got a little corner ding. So I got the 3 of these. This card sells raw for $40 to $50 depending on the day. I got this for $32. I got this for $35. I got this for like $40 or $42. So I paid raw or less for all these. I'm going to crack all these. So coming soon, how to crack CSG/CGC slab video. That's a little weekend project that we're going to delve into, see how it goes. It could be appointment viewing because it could be a disaster. I have not cracked CGC slabs or CSG slabs before, so we'll see how it goes. But I will record it for posterity and we'll see what it does. I'm going to practice on the 8.5. That's part of the reason why I bought it, was to crack this one first, see how it goes, then crack the 9, then crack the 9.5. I will probably send the 9.5 at minimum off the grading. I think it does look pretty clean. One of the nice things about CSG slabs, since they are so crystal clear, it is very easy to see the card inside the slab. The 9 I may crack and just risk it for the biscuit and see what happens. And once again, the 8.5, it clearly has a bad corner on it. So I'll just mag it and then, just let whoever buys it off me know that there's a soft corner on the back when they look at it. But that's really the only thing I saw on it was that corner. So I think that's justifiably an 8.5. I see why they gave it one for that for sure, because that corner is pretty mangled. But so I have these. So crack the grade is a thing. Now, once again, we have a limited time on this as the $18 thing ends at the end of July. So part of this weekend, depending on how the weekend goes, we'll be evaluating a bunch of this stuff. Maybe I'll do it early next week. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. I've done this before where when I'm sitting down to evaluate cards, I just go live and record it. It's kind of boring because I'm not talking a ton. I'm mostly just kind of looking at each individual card and flagging what I like or don't like about it. I'll check in with chat here and there on the video, but it's not like one of my normal live streams. So if that's something you want to see, throw it in the comments down below. And maybe when I go through a small stack of them, I'll go live for half an hour to an hour while I'm doing it. It is kind of monotonous, so it is kind of nice to have chat there as part of that. So, but yeah, we'll be cracking these. I got to evaluate these to go in. And then I have a bunch of Marvel stuff to potentially go through. The primary purpose of this submission is going to be first Bowman baseball prospects. This is going to be what drives it. I'll use this stuff as filler if I need it. The way the value subs work is they are split 1996 and newer and then 1996 and older, and you have to have a 20 card minimum for each slot. So if I want to send these in, I need 20, which hopefully between all this stuff, I can get to 20 cards. And I actually have a couple other cards coming. I have 2 Noel base Sapphire autos on their way to me. But for anything sub 1996, you need 20 cards. So I might dig around my Marvel stuff and see if I can find 20 Marvel cards to go with it. So do keep that in mind when you're putting your submissions together. But yeah, I think the #1 play is first Bowman stuff, especially from 2022, Sapphire, Chrome, whatever. If you have a local team, mine that prospect report, see who's on there, pick someone that's got a little bit of upside. You're not going to kill it. I guess you could if the prospect would go nuts. But these, I mean, this is the way a lot of people built their bankroll 2 years ago, 3 years ago, was buying a card for 10 or 20 bucks, spending 10 or 20 bucks to get it graded, and then selling it for 150 or 200 when it came back from grading. So you're into the card for 30 or 40 bucks, you get it back, you sell it for 150, you make like $80 profit. Rinse, repeat, break even on some nines, maybe even take a small loss, and then keep the churn going. It's back to the roots of how a lot of people built up their bankroll of raw to grade, especially on the low end. You don't have to go crazy like I did. This is probably, I think I spent like 150 on this, 200 on this. These ran me about 120. So that's probably $400 to $500 in first Bowman, plus grading fees, depending on what I end up doing there. So I'm going to mark everything down and keep track of everything, so I know when it comes back. Obviously, it'll be 6 months in the making, but that's how I'm handling $18 PSA submissions. Curious for your thoughts and comments down below. What are you guys and girls putting together to send at $18? And then obviously, like, PC stuff's 100% a play. If you're using up stuff for set registry, I'm mostly taking this as the angle of I am going to get some stuff raw, I am going to grade it, and then I am going to flip it when it comes back. So that's all I have for you guys and girls today. I might have a very, very interesting video for you tomorrow. It depends on if the stars align. But boy, oh boy, did I screw something up. We're going to talk about that in a video. If not tomorrow, then it'll probably be Monday. Sunday, obviously, the week in review. I also, fresh off the UPS truck, I'm probably going to record it now. It'll post sometime next week. NFL Prism Cellos. Coming soon. We all know how the blasters went. Let's see how the Cellos treat us. That's all I have for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.